Ready or not.
So it's taken me a lot longer than expected, unfortunately, but to all of those who have complained, Santiago, I have. That's where the squeaky bastard used to be, aka the cabin fan. There she blows. I just finished taking it apart, re-greased it all. It's been a pain. It's been actually a lot harder than expected, but now it works, no squeaks. So now I just gotta put it back together, but yeah. And then I gotta finish fixing the AC pump, but this car will be ready for a hot summer. It's currently 100 degrees as the sun's going down in my driveway. So better late than never, I guess. Come on and take me on. 'Cause when the war is over, the fight is done, well, I'll be lying in the sun. And when the war is over, the fight is done, well, I'll be lying in the sun. Hello YouTubers, this is my 1996 Volvo 850 Turbo. I'm going to show everyone a little trick today. So those who ride around with me, this is my blow up valve made by Forge, which I've never put in a YouTube video, so I might as well incorporate that. It's been fun. So a lot of people who ride around with me may know that my air conditioner tends not to work half the time. It would only work on its high setting, and if I ever revved to above 3,500 or 3,500 RPM, it would disengage and not come back on. This is because most AC compressors, but you can see mine down there, and it looks funny, and I'll tell you why in a second. But most AC compressors use an electromagnet to hold this little clutch together, which closes the gap and engages the compressor. Now, electromagnets are affected by heat, so when it's been running for a while and it generates heat and the engine gets hot or it's hot outside, it won't engage anymore because the electromagnets don't quite have the same amount of power. So, I have a little tip for everyone. Instead of having to remove absolutely everything from the car to get to the compressor and re-shim it, which is a pain, you attach zip ties to it. I know it's a little unconventional. See if the camera will focus. It doesn't really look safe either, but if you, this gap right here is what engages the compressor here onto this, which spins with the belt, which you'll see in a second. So by wedging zip ties on the three main focal points, this is the back plate, and you are forcing this plate here, which is sitting on springs, closer to this. So that way, when it's really hot, the electromagnets don't have a very large gap to pull this onto, so it'll allow it to spin and engage and have cold air, which is great. And I just realized putting my hand on this, this is the Freon holding tank, which is a little rusty. That's probably got to be replaced next. But it's cold because I was just running it to make sure it works. So like I said, it looks a little unconventional, but it works. That's all I really care about. So let's see if I can position this camera somewhere where you guys can see it. Okay, so I'm going to position that there, and I'm going to go ahead and start my car. So as you can see, the belt is spinning, but the clutch isn't actually engaged yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prove that this works, we're going to engage the clutch, let it run for a second, and then disengage it, and then re-engage it, because at that point in time, the electromagnet will heat up, and if it re-engages again, that will prove that this works, and I have fixed my air conditioning issues without having to re-shim the whole compressor. So let's give it a test run. So I would say that just about proves my point. You can see it down there. Get in the way. There it is down there. So we go to the car. We engage it. Sorry, I didn't show that. I can go off. Engaging AC. I don't really have a fancy thermal imaging camera to show you, but you'll take my word for it. It is getting colder. And I'll come back over here. And again, there she is. Not very safe. Can't even rev it up a little bit. And here's the blow-off valve over here. Pretty fancy. Yeah, there's my ride. Ready for a hot summer. Oh, and I did try to re-grease my this cabin fan here, which is under this dash. I think I actually will incorporate this into one video. And I put it in, and it's not squeaking, but it's rubbing against itself, and it's kind of squeaking already. So I kind of just bit the bullet. Oh, and here are my racing brake pads, slotted brake discs. There's a good chance to show off my car. Racing suspension. Sort of racing suspension. I tell myself it's racing suspension. You don't have to believe me. But yeah, the fan's making noise. So, I don't know where my dad put it. Ferrari. Right here. We ordered it a couple days ago. It came in the mail. Brand new fan. Door is closing. So we don't have to worry about any more squeaks, moans, groans, or breakdowns. So if I go on a road trip this summer, all shall be good. Except my little zip tie jerry rig thing breaks, and breaks something else. Then we're in a world of hurt. But I have to trust my craftsmanship. So yeah, that's my car. Goodbye. So just as a confirmation test, I've been driving around for about 15 minutes now. As you can see, it's 73 degrees, so it's a bit toasty. So at this point in time, I can, and again, you're just going to take my word for it, but I can turn my AC off, and already I can feel it getting warmer. And this is the feeling I dreaded the most, because I knew I'd have a hot ride in store. But right now, I can just turn it back on, and it gets cold I would say instantly. The other thing is Volvo has their computer system designed so that when you rev it up, as I said earlier, it disengages the compressor to give you the power. And I would just like to point out that I can give it the power. Well over 3,500 RPM. I'll slow down again. And it's still cold. So all is well in my Volvo. And that makes me very, very, very happy. So yeah. All I see is you and me.